Hello, Iowa friends, or folks who are watching this journey on YouTube. It's Janelle Molony, aka Hottie Historian. I am now beelining from Des Moines to Council Bluffs. I think we might even see the sunset over the Missouri River tonight. Should be nice. So here's what I've been pondering, and maybe someone somewhere will have some insights, or being there and seeing it for myself, I'll be able to sort of hypothesize better. But here's my preliminary hypothesis on the crossing procedures. So I've seen pictures, paintings from like William H. Jackson, where he paints all the wagons like in rows, just cramming down the Council Bluffs Road to the Missouri River, hoping to cross, waiting to cross. And there's got to be some kind of a system, I would imagine, because if the Rousseaus and the Pella Company are hanging out for multiple days, not in line, but camped at a lake nearby, they're not going to be like dumping all of their camping gear out and then bringing their wagon back to stay in line. This is completely illogical. The wagons are not in line. They're not in line. So here's what I imagine. They get there, they put their name on a list, and somebody in the ferry operating business is like, yeah, I can only cross so many wagons per day, and so that means I won't be able to get to your wagon until tomorrow or 3 days from now. And so come back 3 days from now and line up then, or something like that. There has to be some kind of placeholder system. Although, honestly, I've never read about it. I've never seen anything to explain how people would be in a massive line. I mean, they wait for multiple days. And if they're waiting for multiple days, that means there are hundreds of people and wagons trying to cross, and it is jam-packed. You can't, if you had a line, that line would be all the way back to Des Moines. You know? If you have an answer, weigh in, or a theory or a hypothesis of how they kept the crossing organized. What have you seen? Have you seen something in a museum or in a book somewhere that I haven't seen or run across, or maybe I forgot? I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right. We are taking a detour. So we lost like an hour at the mill. It's okay. I still have time to go and explore Council Bluffs. And instead of delaying and coming up with reasons to hang out for a little while until sunset, I'll definitely be there at sunset. It's a high of 88 today here in Iowa. Where am I? Elkhorn. And it's humid, and a storm is coming, and you can feel it. You can feel it in the air. You can feel it in your bones. And another lovely little reminder of the humidity and the storm coming are little love bites from the no-see-ums. And that I got a lot of them. A lot, and it hurt really bad, and it kind of felt like electricity. So I'm hoping that tomorrow it's supposed to rain. I'm hoping that after the rain, the no-see-ums will calm down. Okay, friends, look at what I get to drive straight into, because I decided to detour off to a windmill, and now it's barely 5 p.m. Oh, and it really looks like it's pouring rain ahead. We are taking a pedestrian bridge across the Missouri River, or at least to go and look out. And there's an incredible sculpture I guess, sculpture garden in the area, including, I don't know what to call them, the looker. I was just there, I'll show you. So here we are, we're approaching the Missouri River on the Council Bluffs side. Whew, excuse me. I have been traveling since 5 in the morning and it is now 7 o'clock at night. We are on a pedestrian bridge where we can actually cross the Missouri, and it goes pretty high up. I'll just show you. It's a great view. Kind of exciting. It looks like a carnival ride. And it feels pretty special to be nearby where my family in their covered wagon train once upon a time crossed. And honestly, the Missouri River doesn't look that big. But as Sarah Rousseau wrote in her diary, in her 1864 diary, just a few days before they crossed, she said that the river at the end of May was full of whitecaps. And so the current and the wind would have made it definitely not so easy to cross. So I can see that if you were just in a ferry, whether it was being rope pulled or pole maneuvered, ooh, that would be even harder, right? Yeah, I can imagine the ferryman just being like, not today, Sarah, not today. All right, I changed my opinion. That was a lot bigger than I thought. Yeah. Well, friends, brought you here to this bridge with Missouri behind me, thinking I could show you the beautiful sunset with the river in the background. And here we are. So pretty. As promised, I am reading a selection from Sarah Rousseau's diary, her 1864 journey across the Great Plains from Pella, Iowa to San Bernardino from June 2nd. She remarks that some of the Pella Company had already crossed the river the day prior. She said they had all crossed the river yesterday forenoon. So we packed up as soon as possible and started for the ferry and got there about 1 o'clock. And then while they were crossing, y'all, every time I look at the camera, I see what my hair is doing. This is the look. So as they were crossing the river, she says that Dick Curtis was on a boat coming after us because he said one of his little brothers fell out of their wagon and was very badly hurt. So he had to wait until the ferry boat went all the way over to Omaha, and then Dr. James Rousseau had to get on another ferry all the way back to Council Bluffs to see to little Alan Curtis, who fell out of the mule wagon and was injured for a few days. It took him a while to recover, but she does remark on his recovery later in the diary. If you're having a great time watching these videos and watching me tour around and read snippets of my books, please pick one up for yourself. Appreciate the support, and this is really fun. And buying the books actually funds my journeys to wherever I go next. So please consider that. I love it. Thank you for joining me on today's road trip. I am headed out now for some dinner.